Morocco, thousands of children and girls whose age varies between 8 and 15 leave school at an early stage or never attend school. Young children in a difficult situation have never been to school to find themselves in the streets, facing delinquency and exhausted labor. Shepherds in rural areas, shoe cleaners in cities, or girls' maids at households. Those children are undoubtedly the fuel of illiteracy, which represents a basic obstacle to any kind of economic and social development. Aware of the dangers of that phenomenon, and due to the outstanding role of the human factor as a fundamental definer for economic progress and social welfare, the Moroccan government's strategy regarding the fight against illiteracy and non-formal education program set up by the Undersecretary is to work hard to reduce the percentage of illiteracy. This is made in a way that would allow the launching of a broad and integrated human development which would reinforce impelling efforts deployed by our country, under the wise leadership of His Majesty King Mohammed VI, to rehabilitate the Moroccan society in conformity with the noble goals of the National Initiative for Human Development. Also, this strategy provides a second opportunity for education on behalf of all children who either do not go to school or were obliged to give up their education. This deep and broad vision was implemented as a result of the problem of illiteracy and its expansion with the implications of economic development, political and social reforms based on Morocco's international commitments, especially the International Convention for Children's Rights and the goals of the UN Programme for Development and Education for All. Those commitments were implemented by the National Plan for Childhood. This vision also finds its background at the level of reform in the educational system, as embodied by the National Charter for Education and Training, which has defined several goals. These include eliminating most entirely the problem of illiteracy by 2015, guaranteeing education for all children who do not go to school or abandon school by 2010, and reducing the percentage of school dropout at elementary school to 2% by 2010. How does this program of non-formal education start? I see that there is a big difference between the number of children who should have been at school and those who actually go to school. At that time, it was clear to me that approximately between 2,005,000 and 2,007,000 between 7 and 15 who should have been to school. The question that was raised at that time is, where are those children? Some of them work especially in handicraft, some of them are young girls, which we unfortunately find as maids, and many of them do not do anything while others are lost and become street children. It becomes clear that those children who do not go to school or leave school remain under the responsibility of the state, since the Moroccan law imposes compulsory schooling from 7 to 14 years. Starting from this vision, the Directorate of Non-Formal Education was created in February 1998. So what are the new changes brought about by this Directorate?
التربية غير النظامية أتت بجديد.
Non-formal education has brought something new, which is reflected in the construction of a new school that takes into consideration different approaches of children's schooling. It is the school which goes to child instead of waiting for the child to come. This new school is based on 4 principles. First, to overcome difficulties which prevent children to go to school. Second, to establish flexible and varied programs and also flexible controlled timetables. And the third point is to bring civil society to participate through strong intervention during the periods of children's schooling. The fourth point is also a very basic axis, which is the training of all interveners. Non-formal education aims at guaranteeing education for all, gradually uprooting illiteracy and contributing to achieve the goal of generalizing education, in addition to integrating beneficiaries into the program of educational system, vocational training or professional life, and bringing both government and non-governmental organizations and the civil society to provide education for all. The Undersecretary's strategy in the field of non-formal education is based on two major approaches. One is curative, while the other is preventive. The first concerns providing educational right for all and educating children whose social and economic conditions have prevented them from attending school or have been obliged to leave school before time. The second aims at fighting illiteracy at the source through confronting the phenomenon of school dropout via a national program for educational support. To make this approach more efficient, the Undersecretary has resorted to prepare two basic programs: the Program of the Second Chance and the Program to Stop School Dropout. The Program of the Second Chance is of curative nature, which aims at integrating targeted categories into educational system or vocational training and is implemented under three forms. Partnership program with associations, which aims at opening and managing classes in the framework of a partnership system where rural areas represent a priority at the level of programs and goals. We do preschooling, literacy, and non-formal education, while at the same time we offer vocational training, embroidery, sewing, weaving, knitting, and even woodwork. The most important thing we have is to fight school dropout for children during harvest periods and also in ploughing periods. There is a lot of absence, but what is important is a follow-up. If there is no follow-up, there is nothing. God rewards you. This school is important to us. When the school did not exist, there was nothing. Now, our children can learn, read names and understand and know a little bit of Arabic. And we ask for the construction of roads so that teachers who help us do not suffer. The parentage program is based on the contribution of both physical and moral persons in providing educational for targeted categories through social fabrics. Hanan is a student from the Center of Childhood Protection, and she's one of the young girls who have benefited from this program. I follow courses on non-formal education, and this had helped me join educational system at a private school. I got an excellent grade, though I was obliged to stop attending school for a specific period. Non-formal education has allowed me to learn a lot of things and acquire skills which have helped me integrate educational system. Recuperation cycle targets children who have recently abandoned their education with the goal of bringing them back to school after a short training session. Non-formal education has offered me a second chance to attend school because I stopped going to school at the level of the 5th elementary grade. And at this school, I have learned silver and gold modeling. I dreamt of becoming a gold modeling. Thanks God, my teachers have helped me a lot. Awakening cells are one of the fundamental elements in the program of stopping school dropouts. Those cells have recently been created at the level of educational institutions and are made of the director, teachers, the educational inspector, elected bodies, parents, associations, and civil society NGOs. All are in charge of diagnosing the situation of school dropout and of endorsing programs of intervention and coordinating the implementation process. In many regions, students officially registered at schools play an efficient role in activating the awakening cells, and thus contributing to monitor and identify school dropout for the sake of preventive intervention. I have convinced a friend of mine that it's better for him to join us at school sooner this year than next academic year. When he joined us, we have helped him catch up with his courses. At this school, it has become possible, thanks to an awakening cell, to reduce the percentage of repetition and students' absence and dropout.
لن نقبل نحن كخلية
We at the Awakening Cell don't accept at this institution an average grade less than 5.46. This is rejected for us. The program of educational support is being elaborated with the goal of achieving a strategic objective embodied in the reduction of school dropout to 2% by 2010. This program includes pedagogical support of backup lessons in basic competencies, basic courses, and also social support by providing basic needs of school items, transportation, and clothes. During the last years I spent with this association, I have noticed that my academic performance has improved, and this is because of efforts by teachers and trainers beside free of charge academic backup support. Listening centers are also activated to treat psychological causes that might lead to school dropout. The difference and variety of targeted categories which benefit from formal education essentially pushes to establish various educational methodologies. The curriculum vary according to the nature of targeted categories. There is school integration methodology, the curriculum of children from rural areas, and the curriculum of social integration and integration in vocational training. The curriculum of school integration. This curriculum concerns children who go to school but abandon their education to reintegrate them in the cycles of public educational system. The curriculum of children from rural areas. This curriculum concerns children who live in rural areas. It aims in principle at reintegrating beneficiaries into the cycle of public schools or preparing them for integration in the milieu where they live. This class includes two categories of beneficiaries. Those who have stopped education, while the second category is made out of children who are either shepherds or help their parents gather firewood. Now, thanks God, they have learned how to read and write.
التي نعرفها نقلا لأمراض
الدار العالية, or family house, is one of the associations which endeavor to train youngsters from rural areas in the agricultural field. There is a point of encounter between the goals of Rural House and those of the Undersecretary in Non-Formal Education. We cooperate with this important department to open important fields for the sake of integrating youth in their socio-professional milieu. I've benefited a great deal from non-formal education at a rural school in Shtuka 8 Baha, and now I'm at a training session at the family's ranch, and the production is really good. This means that the situation has improved better than before. The curriculum of social integration. This curriculum concerns in principle children between 9 and 15 who find themselves in bad working conditions, street children, and orphans boarding centers of childhood protection. This program plans to allow this category to benefit from basic education and from a profession which meets their needs and thus help integrate them into the society and nurture in them the values of positive citizenship. When girls join us, they are integrated in non-formal education classes, and then, according to their own levels, they attend normal educational system, and now, thanks God, we have succeeded in integrating 25 young girls. We also afford vocational training. We have restaurants, sewing, couture, and handicrafts. Girls spend 1 year training, get certificates, and are easily integrated in the job market. The curriculum of integration into vocational training. Children between 12 and 15 who have abandoned their education and who learn any profession benefit from this program. Undersecretary is working in cooperation with different active partners to pursue the program quality improvement and thus to reinforce its attractiveness through artistic activities such as theater, dancing, and others.
قال له با أم الله يرحمها قال له أم الله يرحمها ويقول له إيه ويقول له با إيه أمك الله يرحمها مالها ويقول له كانت أمي أحسن منك هذاك الدري علاش قال له با قال لي أمي كانت أحسن منك حيت كيتعدى عليا وما كتخلينيش نمشي نقرا.
0-1
How could we summarize the results and achievements reached by non-formal educational programs?
برنامج التربية النظامية بدأ سنة 1997.
Non-formal education program started in 1997. The number of children who have benefited from this program, the first and the second years, and closely the fifth year of the program, is between 24 and 34,000. In 2004, we noted that there is a big gap, especially in curricula. The first action we have taken is to cover that gap, and for the first time we have dedicated curricula for non-formal education because this program is important and targets our country's children. We have provided special training for trainers of non-formal education. We have also established awakening cells at the level of all school institutions, and the percentage of coverage has reached 91%. Those cells warn children threatened of stopping their education. About 133,000 children have benefited the first year of that program in 2004-2005. 97% of those children have moved to the following grade. In 2007, more than 160,000 children have benefited from the non-formal education program, which is known as the program of the second chance. We still have hope to rescue all Moroccan children whose living conditions have not allowed them to attend school, and thus it is our responsibility to offer them a seat at school, which is a natural place. In data, the Undersecretary's working plan has put forward as its target for 2006-2007 in the field of non-formal education to teach and educate 240,000 boys and girls whose age varies between 9 and 15. Now, 10 years after the launching of non-formal education programs, deployed efforts and the dynamism marked by this sector have had positive implications. This has become clear in the results of the national survey carried out by the Undersecretary in 2006 about illiteracy and the absence of education. This effort was crowned by the UNESCO International Confucius Prize granted to Morocco in 2006. Morocco's experience was rewarded and chosen in the field of non-formal education among the best 5 international experiences.